Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to our video docu-series about Allodial Title, the Great Mahele, why you should file your paperwork, where to file it. It'll be right here in the Bureau of Conveyance. This would be the land court for the Hawaiian Islands. The address is 1151 Punch Bowl Street, number 120. The room actually is 122. To do your research, where you can go to the database online, which will be clicking right here. And room 123 across the hall is where you actually file the paperwork. Now those guys, there's two court systems in there. There's a guy on the right hand side, which is the land court. You're not going to file your affidavit paperwork there. You're going to go on the left hand side window and you can file it in regular court window. And you can just ask the people there. The staff is very kind and friendly, but they won't help you or explain the documents. They're only going to accept it and then you have to file. I recommend you ask for the supervisor because it's a lot easier to work with that guy who's super cool and chill. Now, the Bureau of Conveyance, you can check out properties online because it's public record. You click on the link right here. It says Bureau of Conveyance. And you go to New Document Ordering System. You click the button. And this is where you can put in your username and password to log in. They've already saved me under Pikachu, but you can make your own login name here. Right here, and this is where you're going to put your name, password. If this is your first time, you can make an account right here by clicking on this button, and then you can search by name, and you can check anyone's last name under Lupinui, Paki, and everybody else, whoever is filed under their personal name here in the Bureau of Conveyance. So this is where you'll be eventually filing your paperwork. If you want physical copies of somebody else's public record, you have to pay $1 a page. So it can add up, which is why we recommend you keep your paperwork 50 pages or less. So let's get on to the websites of what you're going to go, where you're going to go, and what you're going to look for. So the first website I want you to go is under Waihona.com. Waihona. And you can always Google this in case you forget, but it's right here at Waihona.com, and it should look like this. What you're going to need is your Rural Patent Land Commission Award or grant number, which can be found in the Great Mahele of 1848, or if you Google search, it'll be in your Hawaii State Archives public records as well. So if we search here, you can see there's Mahele, Boundary Commission, Land Grants, Rural Patents, Database Index. We're just going to click on Rural Patents for now. I'll give you an example. So Rural Patent, I know Iolani Palace is Rural Patent 699. And you're going to see a whole bunch of lists that comes up. I know 699. Now it says island is Oahu. The district is Kona. Kona is not only on the Big Island. You have to remember how we named things back in history in the 1800s. TMK is 1-2-1-25. This TMK doesn't always match up to 2023. So Kekua no Oa no Victoria Kamamalu. We're going to click on this magnifying glass button. Don't worry about this. You don't have to pay. You just click on the button for search, and it's going to come up with basic information. Who the patentee is, what district it is, what ahupua'a it is. The ili is Haile Maile under Richard Street, which TMK, which Land Commission Award. Now, this gives you the general information to recognize that your property is in the Royal Hawaiian Kingdom. It is acknowledged. That's step one. Step two is to find it in the Kipuka database. You can also search the Great Mahele records or the archives. So let's just go through this. So you click I agree. We can close this one out because Kipuka database, KIPUKA database. And we're going to refresh the screen because we should see a big map. Okay, click I agree. Now there's different ways to find your property. Now if you didn't know where Iolani Palace is, you can search here under the name, the patentee number, or the TMK. But we're going to pretend that we don't know where the property is, and we're going to click around to try to find it. So join me on the adventure as we look for this. Okay, so we know it's near the post office. It's to the right of Aloha Tower and the pier, so we know we're near the ocean. And it should be in this vicinity. And we're going to click. We're zooming in, as you can see close. And I believe this is the property here in this area. So we're going to check. I'm going to check. You can see downtown. I see water. Now, where is our palace? Where is the Royal Hawaiian Iolani Palace? It should be around here. I might have to zoom out a little bit since I can't really tell. right here. Okay, so this would be the state capital, and this is where Iolani Palace is, right here. Now you're going to notice a little pop-up window will come up. Now this may not be possible on your cell phone, but it does work on my laptop. So this is Iolani Palace, and you're going to notice it doesn't say any Royal Hawaiian Air, and this is where we're going to start to investigate. Now this is an example before going to Family Lands. I just want to show everybody who's watching home. So you click on the link that pops up. It's going to get you to a TMK, and it's going to give you some generic information. Not all the properties are managed like this. So this is their TMK number, which you should write down and memorize if you're going to do further research or file for this land. Now there's going to be a description. It says the owner is the state of Hawaii. I have no idea when they got a receipt or how they got this. It's in a trust land status of 5B. It's leased to the Friends of Iolani Palace, which is a nonprofit. It says GL 5504, and there's a property report. So we click on the property report, and what do you know? It's down from Department of Permanent Planning. We're going to keep on going. Land awards, there are many. Historic sites, obviously there's burials over there, and it's the Royal Hawaiian Palace. Now if there's a plat map, you can click on this, because you don't know what year it was made. This was made after 1959, because I can see the state of Hawaii written there. And we look at the original map. This is the T21025, the city and county. So they definitely changed the map from the original, and you can see how the database looks. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to close this one out. Community input, nothing, and that's the database. So this is the generic form you're going to look, because you want to find your report, you want to find who the owners are, what the TMK is, and all of that jazz. Now, the next part. So this is, we're using Royal Hawaiian Iolani Palace as an example. We're going to check the Hawaii State Archives, the digital archives. So Hawaii State Archives is where you keep all the records of a Royal Hawaiian family. So I'm going to click on Digital Archives. And actually we want Digital Collections. Yeah, Digital Collection is the one you want. And this is where you can find all the probate cases for the 73 recognized Royal Hawaiian families. So you just click on the judiciary records, like I just did. Click on name, and it's going to give you A through J, K, and L through S. That's it. There's only 73. You can count them up. And I can tell you yours truly is under Paki, which you're going to want to have to legally prove in court, because when you file this paperwork for a allodial title, the judges, lawyer, or whoever's on that property now that's not paying you your fair share, they're going to want to challenge you that you're not the Royal Hawaiian heir or the bloodline of so-and-so of the Royal Hawaiian family. So this is what's recognized in the Hawaii State Archives. You can print this for free at home. Now this might have thousands of pages. Bernice Pauahi Bishop has a couple thousand pages. Paki only has 76. You have to be mindful, but you can take a look for free, and this is how you can recognize how much Abner Paki has, how much Pahoa has. Everything's inside the probate already, but because they didn't have a trust, it all got probated, which is how they stole the wealth from the Hawaiian people and extorted it. So this is the three main websites I want you to look into. So you have the Vaihona.com, Kipuka database, and we have the Hawaii State Judiciary Records right here. Right, so you can see what it looks like. And this is where you can check the Bureau of Conveyance website. You can just go to Google, and this is what it's going to get you to see who currently has a lease, title, or some kind of warranty deed, quitclaim deed, or whatever land on your so-called property. You can just search by their last name or search by the address, and Bureau of Conveyance will pop it up. Okay, so now we want to go to another example of how you would find this in the Great Mahele through the Lupe Nui line, as I was asked to by some of the family members who may want to help their other family members re-establish. Okay, so we're going to start back over again of how we find this data if we're looking for someone's specific family and not just generic Royal Hawaiian Crown lands or Kingdom lands. So we're going to go back to Royal Patent. And I know that's a grant award, not a land commission or Royal Patent. So we're going to go to land grants. And it helps if you know the intel, so it's easier for you to do your research. If you don't know the intel, it's going to be a little harder for you to file, but you can find all your records right here in the digital collections for the Hawaii State Archives, including the King Lunalilo and everyone else as well. So if your royal family name isn't in here, then you're going to have an issue. So if it's recognized, you're going to have a lot easier time. So let's do this. So 02158, which is the Land Grant Award, Lupe Nui. Okay, and if you don't know your grant award name, let's just search for Lupe Nui under grantee. And boom, it comes up. It's in the district of Kau. It's on Hawaii Island, which I know island code is 3. So we're going to do the same thing. Click the circle, magnifying glass. It says it's 145.5 acreage, was in 1856. Maka Kupu is the Ahupua'a grantee, Lupe Nui. The source book is source book 11. And you can see how it says Helu 2158, which would be the grant award number in the Palapala Sila Nui. You can see it's all written in Hawaiian as well. You guys can check it out. It's even in degrees, latitude and longitude. Helma 64 degrees, Hikina 5. So they were very akamai back in the day. They're already using latitude and longitude. Now, how do we find it back on here? So let's go to Kipuka database. We'll start all over from the beginning. Let's pretend like I don't know, to help all of those you at home who are going to be researching as well. So same thing. I'm going to do it the easier way this time, even though I know where the property is, because you don't want to be clicking forever on the properties, because you might be in a lost scavenger hunt. We know it's in Kau, about right there ish. So if you know Google Maps, you know the address, it'll be a lot easier for you to find properties. But let's just pretend we don't know. So how do we find this property? I'm going to go under the grantee name, Lupe Nui, and sometimes the spelling doesn't work, so they don't have it under Lupe Nui. Let's try Lupu Nui, because I know something like that popped up earlier. Land Award, Bing. So Kipuka database got the name wrong. They put under Lupu Nui, which is Helu 215H, which corresponds to the same matching right here. So we're going to close this entry page, and this is the so-called property for grant 2158. According to the records, it's 445.5 acres, give or take. It looks like it expanded. This is a road. This is somebody else's property. So if you click the button, it'll highlight this Ed C. Olson Trust, which is a different TMK, 396011006. And you're also going to see how this little edge part here comes off to another award to other people under Tsuru Dome Steven. But we really want this property here for the Lupe Nui Ohana. And there's going to be about 25 different parcel numbers on here. One of them is a coffee shop. And you can see that even though this is the grant award, a lot of the property has already been subdivided into different parcels and is being used for other purposes. We have no idea what until you go on the land and check things out. You can see different owners already popping up when I'm clicking away, because even though it's got one square, there's multiple owners, so it makes it really, really weird. So we're just going to click on one to see what's going down. Now, same thing. We're going to check out the description for this one little piece in that area. So we click the property port, and it says for this one, there's a 2023 ag land market value is 146,700, and it's also exempt for 387,000 total assessed. So something's up with this property. You got owner's name is Sales Felipe. Tenants by entirety, Salas, and you can click on the button. It's in a P.O. Box 223, Pahala, Hawaii, and you can see the assessment value here and different sketches of what's going on, the city and county, and you can click for all of them. So this may take some time to research, but I like to view the map. So I click on the view the map, one from the property report, because that'll take you to city and county, and then you can see exactly which part of the property you're looking at. So this whole area right here is the land grant for 202158, which is this right here. So you can see we're cross-referencing everything from what Vaihona.com says, the Kipuka database, and the map, from the county property report. Now this is for the county of Hawaii. Each island is different. Each county has a different website, and you can start to click on different ones. This one has a coffee, MTZ Kau coffee. So we'll click report. And just an example, it is voted as ag. That's what's land assessed. Total taxable value is $206,800. Address is 964065 Makakupu Road. The mailing address is unique because it goes to MTZ Kau Coffee Farms LLC, which is in Arizona, 8761 North 79th Avenue, Peoria, Arizona, 85345 7964. What is an Arizona company doing here selling Hawaiian coffee? I have no clue, folks. But if you're related to the Lupe Nui family, I would definitely be checking things out and asking for royalties percentage, especially if they're on the land. It says they're the fee owner, tenants in severalty, so something's going on. And you can see how much they bought for, the warranty, the slips, and you can also check in the Bureau of Conveyance what's been going down, because something is funny. And this is how you can start doing the research before you file your paperwork, because what you want to do on this database, you can check the land award, and there's another one. Check historic sites. There might be cemeteries on there. Now what you want to do is check on the map. So this plat map as well is going to show you the different plats and areas. Now I got onto my records up to 25 on the TMK. You can see how it's marked 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 3, 4, 5, 21, 24 right there in the corner, and 25. So this is what you're going to use, and you can print one of these out because you're going to need this data in order to give it to the Bureau of Conveyance, because you want to show them without a shadow of a doubt, or any other lawyer, attorney, or judge, that you are the rightful heir and that you're claiming your rightful lands back for yourself and for your ohana in the future. So that's what this is here for, and you guys can see how it looks like right there. And this is what it looks like according to the city and county report from the Kipuka database as well, because it depends what year they made this map, and it coincides and matches this, and to make sure you can verify your grant is, you're talking about the same things. Apples are oranges and oranges are apples, or you have to make sure that this TMK is going to be matching the one that you're filing for, because the TMK system does not say grants. It's the US way to tax you for your property. But if you remember the definition of allodial title, it's superior, and that means it's not to be sold, and it can be granted into perpetuity for your future generations. All right, so there is 25 different parcels on this property. So if you did click away, you'd see different ones here coming up. The location, there's the community input. And what I like to do, because this is a little hard to see with only one, let's see if we can go back and I can show you. Let's close this one. Yeah. So with the coffee shop, this coffee farms, wherever they are, you click view map, because this is the property in question. Give yourself room to see, and then you can click on each single property, how it's subdivided, what is the acreage, what is the value. The TMK is right above here, and this is what you're going to have to put on your parcel number paperwork in order to file for everybody else. This is going to save you time and money. Instead of filing each filing fee, which would take forever, what you're going to do is take your paperwork that you got from the Bureau of Conveyance, your docket number, and then you're going to put what address you want to use here, right there for your number. Now you want to keep your pages under 50, otherwise the price is going to double right there. So you want to keep it under 50 pages to keep it under $50. And what you're going to do is add the TMK For example, this would be 96010017, and you would go from the original 96010001 all the way to 25, and you'll just mark it on top of the front page. So you don't have to keep on filing this times 25 times, which can be very costly in the long term. And this is the plat map that you can see that it goes through 25 right here, 24 and 25. Of course, number 1's the beginning. You know, it's numerical order. They keep it pretty simple. And this is from the County of Hawaii website. In case you get lost, you can always search this database for the property itself. So if you didn't know the address, you could do by the parcel number, which is what the state likes better anyway. So let's just do plot 1. So 396010001. Ish. Try again, maybe I added too many zeros. Oh, sorry, you have to drop the 9. You have to drop the 3. The county doesn't like the number. It's really weird. So 960100001. It comes up, and this adds more zeros, and this is what we're going to see here. This shows the parcel number. This shows the address, 962440 Wood Valley Road, Pu'uko'a, agriculture, and all the detailed information here. Now, this is a lot of intel. I don't want to bore you with it, but this is what you're going to have to do to research to figure out who's on your land, who's leasing it, what's going down, and these are the main websites that you can check. So remember, the archives is to find where your family's entitled to. If you have any probates from the royal family, then you can verify them in the Vaihona.com website. To look at a map, you go to Kipuka database, and each island you click on will get you to the county website to show you all the TMK information, because you have to file this paperwork in order to not get arrested if you want to establish on this land for this property. Because it does take time. You have to do your research, because the government, state of Hawaii, whoever is going to try to disprove that you are the heir for this land, for this property. And that's why we have it here, so you can do your research first, and you can also check the Bureau of Conveyance, like I said earlier. There is the map. This is of the coffee place for the Lupinoi family. This is from the Great Mahele Records. You should be able to check this on the Kipuka database. It should get you over here when you click on this stuff. So let's just try it again. Description, property owner, land awards, historic sites, plat map, comments, public utilities. Okay, not on this one, but if you check the Great Mahele Records, this is what in Hawaiian, because it's obviously written in Hawaii, it's going to be Palapala Sili Nui. This is from the Great Mahele. Even though there's no S in Hawaiian, they're combining some words. And you can see what they put out here. And you can use this, print this. I highly recommend you put this. You put your maps together and your genealogy from when you're born to when you passed away for your paperwork, because you're going to want to send all of this paperwork as your affidavit of heirship for your properties and for the royal family. Now, if you're going to use your ID, social security number, stuff like that, I highly recommend you redact it and black ink it, because not everyone needs to see. And then you can put your moko hauhau, you can put your whole genealogy from your family to you, because that's what you're going to have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt. And then you can put the person from the top, the Palapala Sili Nui, to you, and show the birth certificate, marriage certificate, or death certificate, and maps of what you want to send to the public record, because everyone who goes to the Bureau of Kings should be able to see it as well. Some people have latitude and longitude. It is up to you how much paperwork you actually want to submit. I don't recommend you overdo it. They definitely do not want 2,000 pages of their royal history, nor should you be sharing all of that with everyone on planet Earth, because you might have some people trying to copy and steal your land from behind your back, because a lot of people married into the family and they didn't actually have the royal bloodline, because you have to watch out. The kids deserve it, but not some of the spouses. I hate to say it that way, but some of these people just marry into the family. They hear they can get millions of dollars of free land, and then, everything gets nuts, and people start fighting. Now, if you file this paperwork, what it helps you is to claim undivided interest onto the land, and you can start to reestablish on there. Of course, you should let the people know, because they might have a hissy fit. But once you show them who you are, where you come from, and what land they're staying on, they're kind of going to get stuck, especially if you're already filed in the Bureau of Conveyance. And just for everyone's extra information, we did some research to assess the lands of the database and what it shows on the city and county and all the acreage. So I went and I looked up all the TMKs. I listed them here in the numerical order. The acreage I came out with is 140.652 right here on this line, if you guys can see the database, which is different from what this says, 145.5. I was told it's 148, but this is what I added up with all the TMK. So obviously there's missing acreage, such as the roads and other things. But when I did the TMK value of all the assessed properties, it came out to about $3.879 million, which is a huge number for just agriculture land. But some of these places, red flags go off, because they're under a trust, under residential, for $100. There's 3 of these properties that are only assessed at $100, and everything else is in the thousands on the Big Island. There's a couple expensive ones, $500,000 here, another, numbers up there. So we're gonna have to check more into this. I don't want to bore you guys with more details, but definitely, if you want to know more information, please contact your Lupe Nui family. Please contact your Royal Ohana, and we can talk things out. You'll be able to find me on Facebook under Shelby Billionaire, if I can get back in, or it's going to be under Keiki Kalani, which means child of heaven in Hawaiian. Keiki is child, O is of, and Kalani is from the family line, which is the heavenly line. Alright, so this is pretty much what I want to close this video with. If you have any more questions, more details, you guys can get back to me or the person who introduced you, and then you guys can take it step from here. And just to recap, Bureau of Conveyance, it's free to check the public record, and this is where you're eventually going to be filing in the deal in our building. It costs less than $50 to answer your guys' questions. Why should you be filing this? It's because, do you want your kids to spend $1 million, put 20% down, have to face a debt-to-income ratio of 40-something% just to live at home where they're originally from? The answer is no, because that's not what our ancestors wanted. But you can do it for $50 or less to get your paperwork filed, so you have undivided interest to help save the future generations, especially of the Royal Hawaiian bloodline. I encourage you all to come back home, file your paperwork, and to establish, because just because, like for example, I'm a Paki, doesn't mean I can manage all of the land that Abner Paki has. It's impossible. But we have to find the right people who feel the kuleana, who feel the mana, who feel the call from the kapuna to do a job right. And there's different ways you can manage the land. There's someone who can do bankroll, there's someone who can finance, but we need a lot of people to work the lands with their hands, because you need water, power, and so many things to establish. And in the Big Island, if you're going to go there, there is no dump truck to go pick up your trash. Everyone has to do their own dump run, and there's so much trash in Hilo that the Hilo vehicles are dumping trash in Kona. Yours truly adopted the highway and has to pick up all the trash and see it. It's a $1,000 littering fine. So hope you guys don't litter, and then we can help make the world a better place and think about things more beautifully. So this is the example I want to show for all of you guys at home, around the world, Iolani Palace, and for anyone who's in the Lupe Nui Ohana as well. Because anyone can file their paperwork, but only those truly deserving or feel the call will actually file if they can prove it in the court of law. and with the birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates. Keep it under 50 pages, and the total bill will be less than $50. It'll take a couple weeks, I guess, to go into the process, into the system, but after that, you should be good to go. All right, I hope you have a blessed day. Any questions? Find me online. You'll see me in cyberspace. Take care, and may the force be with you always. Chihu, aloha, and pika pika. Chihu.